I want to talk about how the fruit in our lives reveals our hearts. Jesus talked about this idea in Matthew 7:16. He said that you will recognize them by their fruits. And then he illustrated it by saying that are grapes gathered from thorn bushes or figs from thistles. And what he's doing here is that he wants you to know that whatever it is that you see, the fruit that you see in a person's life, you will know where it came from. You will know who they are. You will recognize them, who they are as individuals, by what you see in their life. But the idea here is that if you show me a person's fruit, I will tell you how they think about God, and that is exactly what Jesus is saying. Let me illustrate that for you. Here is the fruit in my life, whatever it may be, but this is the life that I live. And there are many fruit that you will see, and as you observe my life, you will begin to get a feel for the kind of person that I am on the inside. And the way that would look, or the way that you would process that in your mind, is you will see the fruit in my life, and you will automatically know that that fruit, well, it's because of the choices that I have made. You can't have fruit without decisions. And so you automatically know that, well, this person has made choices that has led to that fruit. But you also know that choices is not the bottom of it all, that those choices come out of a belief system. It could sound like this: I believe, therefore I choose, and now I have this life that you see. But my belief system is not the bottom of it all, the bottom of it all as well. My beliefs are fueled by my motivations. What motivates me? What are the ruling motives of my heart that are so important that they develop a belief system that creates choices that I make in the life that you are observing? Well, those motivations, and here is the bottom of it all, those motivations are how I think about God. Now, this can be extremely positive or extremely negative. If I have an anti-view of God, well, that's going to affect my motivations, which are going to be impure. And my impure motivations are going to create an awful belief system, which is going to lead to some serious wrong, even evil, can I say, choices. And that's going to be to an unsatisfying life, unsatisfying for the person who's living it, and unsatisfying to those who are within the sphere of influence of this person. But how I think about God reveals, and it will ultimately lead to the fruit that's in my life. Now, the other version of this is a person who is God-centered and they love God with all their heart, soul, mind, and strength. Well, that's going to affect their motivations. In fact, you could probably say it like this: they are motivated to love God and love others more than anything else. That's a good way to define the driving motivations of their heart. And out of that is going to develop a belief system, which is going to lead to choices, which is going to lead to a very satisfying life that has God's favor on them, as well as people who they associate with will be affected. But the idea is clear. How I think about God will eventually manifest in the fruit of my life, whether I think negatively or positively. Or you can say it the other way. As Jesus said, you will recognize them by their fruit. The fruit in my life will tell you how I think about God. Let's take a coffee break. And I want to make an appeal to you. If you are able, would you be willing to support our ministry? We want to keep our resources free. We want to reach as many people as we possibly can. And by the mercy of God and the kindness of God and the grace of God on our lives, we have been able to reach every country in the world with our practical teaching of Jesus Christ. Every day our resources go around the world, but that cannot happen if people aren't underwriting our ministry. There are two aspects of you helping support our ministry. One, you benefit from it, which is quite important, and we want you to benefit from our ministry. But the second aspect is you partner with us to help us reach people who can't support us, or it's just not a possibility, but yet they can benefit as you benefit from our ministry. And so my appeal is, if you can support us for as little as $5 a month or $50 a year, Would you do that? And also, would you be willing to share our ministry with the leadership of your church? Would you ask them to take us on? Say, we know these cyber missionaries. It's a missional work. They are helping people globally, and I think our church should help them. What do you think, Pastor? Leadership, and if you would make that appeal, that maybe they would take us on the way they take on missionaries and allow us to even do more than what we are doing now. And so if you would consider that, I would be most grateful. We want to continue to free up our resources and make them available to any person, and if you could help, I would be most grateful. Thank you. This webinar that you just watched is part of our mastermind training. We have a team of students who come to our ministry and they want to be trained in how to disciple others well, starting with themselves, and then how to help others within their sphere of influence to whatever degree that may be. But that is our mastermind training, and if you're interested in it, let us know. This webinar is part of the 10-part series of Introduction to Biblical Counseling. Our students in our mastermind program have several webinars that they have to watch, which is part of their overall training. There are 24 webinars altogether. The IBC class, this Introduction to Biblical Counseling class, are 10 of those webinars. You have been watching and listening to lesson number 7. Our ministry is helping people live effective lives. That's what we desire to do, and so let us know. If we can help you, it would be a joy and a privilege to do so. You can contact us at rickthomas.net. Thank you for listening to the webinar.